Yo, what's going on YouTube? Kronos here, and welcome back to another one of our basic guide videos. So this is actually a follow-up to the original basics for all the different fighter weapons. A lot of people asked about combos and like combo videos and that sort of thing. Now, I was gonna like grab a bunch of footage of different combos in specific situations, but to be perfectly honest, in combat, you have to kind of be adaptive to what you're doing. And most of the time, the combos, realistically, you're not gonna land them all the time. I mean, like in certain situations, when a target is down, it's not moving, so on and so forth, like that'll work out for you. But realistically, you're not gonna get a chance to land most of your combos. You're going to be trying to do your absolute best, but we're going to be attacked. You have to dodge incoming damage. You're going to be knocked back. The target's going to move. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. And realistically, we don't have a way that I can show you guys these combos on a stationary target without it attacking and moving and messing everything up. We don't have, our quintessential rock bear just to beat on that's not moving like we did back in base PSO2. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they bring in a cocoon that allows us to do that, so we can make this a lot easier. But for right now, this is the best way I can show you guys some combos. So I felt like this is honestly the most direct way to show you the entire combo and kind of talk about what it's supposed to do and where you're supposed to use it. I don't know if I'm going to start doing these in the middle of the actual video from now on, like if I'm going to add these onto the basics videos themselves, or if I'm going to put these separated. Let me do this really quick. There we go, nice and comfortable. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to start out with double saber. We're actually gonna go through all of fighters weapons since I've done basics on all fighters weapons so far, and then moving forward we might either do like a combo video per class, or we might do one to wrap up at the end, or a set of combos to wrap up at the end of each of the basics videos. Haven't decided yet, but we've rambled on enough. Let's talk about it. So if you guys remember from our double saber video, we talked about Julian Dance, Unchained Circle, and Quick Gash. So at the time, a while back, Julian Dance was bugged, and everyone's like, Julian Dance is dead, so on and so forth. It's actually still not. Like it's not dead. It's actually very, very useful. So our bread and butter combo, in most cases, we're going to be doing is going to be 2 of 1 ability, and then afterwards is going to be a normal attack, not only for PP regen, but it's pretty solid damage as well. So in the case of double saber, what you'll find in most situations is I'm just Julian Dance skip artsing twice. Primarily in situations where I can get that last hit, it is very important to get that last hit because it's where most of your damage is, into a normal attack. It's pretty good for whirlwind building. It's pretty good for damage overall. You're not going to build whirlwind if you're not hitting anything, by the way, so you have to be hitting a target to build whirlwind, but it is pretty powerful overall. Nice thing about it as well is if your target happens to move away from you, whether it be the first Julian Dance or the second, you can use the movement tech for it as well. So you can use the full PA, the beginning and the second half, to get off your damage as well as close the gap, because the beginning damage, though it's not what it used to be, is actually still very good. That's primarily the most you're going to use as far as double saber is concerned. You also have the ability to proc Unchained Circle. Unchained Circle actually has guard frames all around it. I would highly recommend using the full version of it, not the skip arts version. The skip arts version, though powerful, has awful DPP. As you will see, it drains PP like crazy. So if you absolutely need to dump a ton of PP and you want to do a bunch of damage at the same time, this is definitely the way to do it. Just popping 2 of them in a normal attack is pretty powerful. However, if you're doing like say AoE situations, if you're AoEing with double saber, which it's decent, I suppose, if you really want to, using the full version of this PA into a normal attack is what I would go for overall. Now, keep in mind, you can also do this whenever you just have a ton, or you have like, an enemy attack coming at you you're not 100% sure about. It's actually pretty useful as well since it has guard frames all around it. The last combo that we have for double saber specifically is just going to be one of our Julian Dance into a Quick Gash in a third normal. Now, the only time I'd really ever use this is if I need to get some spacing on the target, maybe need to jump back. If I can jump back into some damage to be able to step counter it over and over again, or in cases where I know I'm about to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm about to Deadly Archer, which is your held weapon action. Deadly Archer throws out the weapon in front of you, buzzsaws the enemy, so on and so forth. So it's good for placement or for spacing, and then to throw out that Deadly Archer afterwards. And then, of course, you can gap close back in with a Julian Dance and then continue your regular combos. So that's it for double saber. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We're going to move on to, let's see, what do we have next? No, we're going to move on to Knuckles. Knuckles is a little bit more straightforward. Realistically, you only have 2 situations you're going to worry too much about. AoE and single target. AoE, this is basically the best AoE you've got. You could pretty much just spam the first half of this PA over and over again for your AoE. It's not great. I don't know why you'd want to AoE on Knuckles anyway. I mean, I would honestly recommend just not AoEing on Knuckles if you can help it. Fighter usually subs force, so I just take a wand or a rod and go with that. But if you got AoE on Knuckles, you know, this is the way I would do it. It's got the most spread overall. Most of Knuckles' other PAs, they're not going to give you much as far as AoE is concerned. So if you're going to do this, just know, pop 2 of these back to back. And then, of course, your normals afterwards. Knuckles has a 5-part normal attack. Using 2 of the same PA back to back is going to get you to your 3rd normal. The 4th normal being the one that gets you the most PP recovery. And then, of course, 5th normal, just slam dunking a ton of damage, which is pretty nice. It's nice to have, nice to use, but that's pretty much it. Realistically, what you're going to be doing mostly on Knuckles is going to be hitting them. Actually, I want to make sure I get this name right because I always mix it between the, okay, yeah, double drive. I just want to make sure because I always mix between the JP and the global name. You're basically going to be using Skip Art's double drive quite a bit, or you can skip Art's double drive into Skip Art's 1000 blows, which is an uppercut, to get directly to your 4th into 5th normal attacks. Those are both very, very powerful combos to use. Mostly going to be double drive though, because double drive has some of the best DPS and DPP you can get while using fighter, but that's pretty much all you're going to be going for. Outside of that, really, there's not much else you're going to need to be doing. I mean, you can always go into the movement arts version, or I'm sorry, I keep saying movement arts. I'm thinking of base PSO2, basically the full PA version of double drive if you need to gap close for any reason. But other than that, you should be pretty much all set when it comes to Knuckles. Knuckles' big strength comes from normal attacking pretty much, and from the sway. Now for Daggers, Daggers is a bit fun on my opinion. So Daggers has got its regular 4-hit combo that it has access to. And to this day, I still haven't found out if anyone has got any solid evidence if that 4th normal actually gives you guard or gives you iframes. I haven't been hit during it. Everyone I talk to says they never get hit during it, but no actual resources say it. So at this point, we're not 100% sure. But you have pretty much 2 basic PAs using most of the time. Your 3rd PA that you use sometimes is for gap closing. And again, I keep missing these names. Okay, so I just want to make sure it's correct. The Hell's Coat. Hell's Coat primarily is for gap closing, and you're pretty much going to cancel this into any other PA afterwards, because the second half of it pushes you backwards. I mean, unless you primarily need to move backwards, like some people do some pretty crazy stuff with like turning around and trying to gap, do that, or use Hell's Coat basically to move backwards a bit and then turn their character back around the other direction. But we're not really going to worry too much about that. We already have plenty of movement options available, and of course you can set these up with Wire Atlantis, so that's kind of nice. But your primary combos you're gonna be looking at, again, it's gonna be 2 of the same combo, or sorry, 2 of the same PA into normal attacks since you have a 4-hit combo. But either you're gonna be going with Ripper, or you're gonna be going with see, I was gonna call this Vulture, but it's actually called Buzzard on global. You're either gonna be going with Ripper, or you're gonna be going with Buzzard. Ripper is in cases of your target moving around a whole lot. In most cases, just gonna be double Ripper into 2 normals. Pretty good on damage. Vultures if your target's down, or you think you're gonna be able to get the entire attack off, because that last hit right there is where most of your damage is. And getting those 2 normals afterwards are pretty important as well. This is so you maintain PP. If you're doing Ripper and you happen to get 2 of these off into 2 normals, you're actually PP neutral. I believe you might be PP positive slightly, but you're actually PP neutral and can continue attacking like that basically forever as long as you're landing your normal attacks. But that basically is about it when it comes down to combos. Realistically, you're not going to get a chance to do all of these combos all the time. A lot of these are going to be interrupted. It's going to depend on if your target's moving around or not, if it's standing still, if there's a weak spot out, if there's not a weak spot out, if you can land that last hit, if you cannot land that last hit. All these things are going to be things you're going to have to adapt on the fly. I mentioned previously that, quick gash is great for a gap, or for popping backwards a little bit and setting yourself up, but occasionally your target might be like just about to die, and popping this just happens to be like, I don't know, makes you look cool, and realistically gets the target killed that much sooner for you, because it's got quite a chunk of damage that pops up on that whirlwind itself. Or maybe you're about to jump away from your target, you get away, and you can go ahead and dash to your next target that you're going to be fighting. So take those combos, but don't take them as absolute gospel. Adapt them to your specific situation that you need. That's really about it, guys. I wanted to go ahead and just get this little combo video out to you guys. Not a whole lot going on here. Hopefully we'll have a better system for showing these combos off in the future. But until then, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace out.